Hey, how you doing? It's David Connolly here, doing a quick video response to a comment that came in. I do read the comments, I appreciate the comments, and sometimes I like to respond to the comments. So, M. Foston came in, and M. Foston does not agree, I think it's safe to say, with my Black Lives Matters response reaction. By the way, let me just say something. I think I've posted maybe about 200 videos on YouTube. Of every one I've ever posted, this one, the Dear White People one, was the best. I am so proud of this video, and I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the video, I headed on, and in real time, I went on to the stock market chart thing here. Let me just zoom in a bit. And you can see that the price is at 144, and in real time I put real money down and I shorted Netflix, which means I bet on the price going down. The share price of Netflix is now at 142. Money is flowing into the bank, and I'm delighted. Nobody else at all on YouTube has the confidence to do this. Even experienced day traders, they don't have the confidence to go on YouTube and in real time, dated and time stamped, go, here's what's going to happen, here's my money, thank you very much. But here's the guy who does that, the only guy who does that. There's no one else doing this. I can't find anyone else on all of YouTube. Now, had you just followed along with me instead of writing all this stuff, then the two of us could have been celebrating together. We could have been laughing, dancing, singing and joking and saying, isn't it glorious how the money is now flowing in? And I like to think that that's why people watch these videos. I hope so. I like to think that that maybe is something that makes all of this worthwhile. Now, I'm going to quickly go over your comment here, but forgive me because it's such an in-depth comment that I cannot go into it all in any great detail. In fact, let me just put a context on this before I kick off, okay? Yesterday, the headline story in the UK, the headline story, and by the way, I'm not in America. I'll leave the comment here so that people can read this. I am not in America. I'm from Scotland, okay? Never even been to America, by the way. But the headline story in the UK yesterday was that Diane Abbott, who is a politician, had came out and complained because she said that she had been abused and that someone had used the N word, and basically we need to clamp down on this kind of thing because it happened online. So let's clamp down on the online people. Let's clamp down because some idiot used the N word. And that was the headline story yesterday. Now, this is a problem because, you see, here's the deal, right? If you went to, well, okay, let me put it this way. I'll stick to Diane Abbott and then I'll expand this out, right? If you take someone who's very well known, at least she is in the UK, right, on TV all the time, she is a politician reaching out to millions and millions of people every week, week in, week out, year after year after year after year after year, then eventually there will be some moron that types, to hell with you, you Jewish shyster, or you whatever, insert thing, right? There's bound to be some plonker that comes out with something like that just because of the numbers. But to then turn round and say, oh, there's an epidemic because of this man, there's an epidemic, is not entirely accurate. Now, I haven't called anyone the N-word, by the way. At least not in this universe. The funny thing is, and it's almost a little bit embarrassing to say this, but I live in a part of the planet where there are hardly any black people. I mean, you'd have to go back to like 2012 before you even caught me in the same room as a black person. That's not because I'm a racist. It's just because I was born here, you know. There are, you know, well, there may be a few since the EU vibes and all of that, but isn't it strange? There's just no black people around here. Kind of strange. But let me tell you something. There are no black people anywhere. Because as Morgan Freeman said when he said, look, I'll agree not to call you a white person if you, and he says, and I'm going to ask you to not call me a black person. And I think that sounds like a good deal. So actually, there are no black people anywhere. There are only people. And I said that, I'm sure, in my video. But in any event, let's go through a few of the finer points that you've made here, okay? And by the way, my general point has been made, and I made the point with the Diane Abbott thing. The reason I brought that up is because it seems to me that people are amplifying problems that do not exist. Maybe I'm wrong about the America situation, I'm not there, who knows, but let's look at your email in a little bit more detail. Okay, you start off by talking about the Department of Justice. You know, the Department of Justice. I'm sure you mentioned the Supreme Court. Yeah, there they are. Supreme Court. I'm so sorry. Care factor, 0. I don't like them. I don't trust them. I've felt this way ever since the Trayvon Martin case. We had some complete imbecile who followed a little guy who happened to be black, if I can allow the word, and he killed him and just shot him, I think even literally on the back. And instead of going to jail, he became a celebrity. That's the American justice system. So I have nothing to offer them except total contempt. I'm just not into them, and I don't care what they said. I don't believe them, don't like them. I think they're kind of corrupt. It's one of the reasons why I've never gone to America, actually. Next, Alabama, okay, closed license plates, so etc. Right, good. Then you very carefully and meticulously gave me a bunch of links to people who did. There's no denying it. I checked the links, and it turns out there are people who have painted their faces black and posted these antagonistic messages or whatever on Facebook. Well, I had a look through those links, and I don't want to be seen to be defending that behaviour. I do not endorse that kind of behaviour. But all of those cases were after the Black Lives Matter protest had happened. This is important because one of the things that we all have to come to terms with is that there are very intelligent, compassionate and loving people who happen to think that Black Lives Matters sucks, okay? As a protest, as a movement. They think it sucks. They think it sucks because it's racist towards white people, and they also think it sucks because that is an organisation that exalts and promotes the killing of cops. Now, I don't exalt and promote the killing of cops. I think that cops have a pretty hard time as it is. And I'm not a huge fan of Black Lives Matters, actually. I started off a massive fan. I was like, yeah, of course they matter. I can dig this. But I have since looked at the evidence. I have heard the arguments. I've authenticated the data.
If there was a nationwide epidemic of racist white cops shooting black people, these figures would be far higher, because the percentage of unarmed white people shot dead by cops is exactly the same, 3%. So cops are shooting dead unarmed whites and blacks at exactly the same rate. There's no racial disparity. Do we have a problem with police brutality in America? Yes, undoubtedly. Is it almost exclusively targeted towards black people, as Black Lives Matter claims? No, but the polarising way in which Black Lives Matter made it all about race has divided the nation and made half of the country completely disinterested.
I go back to the Diane Abbott example. I'm sure that if you scoured every corner of the planet, you might find a few assholes who do something like this, but I don't think it's an epidemic. I looked on the comments for on some of the links you'd given me, and one of the guys was saying, I've never even heard the phrase blackface. Another one of the links, I scrolled down, and there's a girl putting on this facial stuff, mud or something, and her face goes all black, she's left the eyes and all that, and she's like, yeah, this is really good for your skin. You leave it on for half an hour, and it's like, I cannot help but wonder if maybe there's some kind of confusion or something. I don't know. Maybe they are just plonkers and I should not be defending anyone. But I just don't think that this is an accurate representation of life on the planet Earth. By the way, my bank account seems to agree. The money is flowing in. I'm so sad that you missed that one. By the way, the share price of Netflix is going to go down even more, so it's not too late. Okay, just so you know. Right, so let's just... You could add it. Now, this is the part of the comment that I really wanted to focus on. You were saying, okay, let me see, black people, okay, this was the stuff, right? You say, Mr. Connolly, when was the last time you were denied the right to vote because of the colour of your skin? When have you been denied decent education because of the colour of your skin? When have you been denied access to capital? Blah, 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 because of the colour of your skin, right? Okay. Excellent. Well done. Well done. You are clearly cashing in on the victim mentality card to a massive extent. So let me answer your question. In fact, let me put this guitar down. I'll give you an answer that will hopefully resonate. Watch closely. I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to do a search for website repairs. Okay. And have I gone down? Oh no, I've not. Here I am. First place. Okay. I own this website. It's just one of the sites that I happen to own. Would you like to see how many leads are coming in? Let me show you. Okay, so this is the actual admin panel. This is where the leads go. And let's just have a look and see what's came in, shall we? First one, spam. This is just a spam message, trust me. It's just spam, right? Second one, again, another spammy message. Okay, I can keep going down the line. This is definitely spam. Right, garbage. Maybe I should do something about this, right? The same guy, right? Do you have a spam issue? Well, that's actually a spammer as well, right? Everywhere I look, it's just junk. It's tumbleweeds. This is the guy who happens to be at the top of Google for that reasonably cool phrase, at least in this part of the planet. You'll have different results wherever you are. And there's nothing coming in. Now, the reason why there's nothing coming in is because people don't want to do business with companies based in Scotland. We had a referendum in 2015. It was an independence referendum. Would you like to be independent from England? And since that event happened, and this is not on the news, but since that event happened, hardly anybody wants to do business with Scottish companies. I've had the phone calls where I've been on the phone and everything's great, and they say, where are you based? And I tell them, and they practically hang up straight away. I have two brothers in business who are really, really struggling. One of them is now selling his business. It's actually for sale. He's been in business since the 90s. He has a website directory with all hotels and stuff on it. And he's now selling it because sales have gone through the floor. And I can tell you, I can show you the data. I've just showed you my own thing. And I can show you the database and the statistics and everything. It's not making the news, but Scotland is currently being sanctioned by England, okay? And that's where a lot of my business came from in the past. But they're not getting in touch anymore, and it's not easy trying to sell websites to a bunch of people who don't want to deal with you because of where you happen to have been born. I had no choice, you know. But you know something? I actually think that any of us can become a victim if we want. I've given you my reason, right? My reason is actually statistically verifiable. I can show you the companies that are closing down and so on, even in my own family. I can show you the leads, I have done, and I can compare them to a time when that wasn't a problem. But you know, everybody watching this video, every single person, can find a reason to be the victim. But see, being the victim, see, playing that card, it doesn't help, okay? Doesn't help you, doesn't help me, doesn't help anyone. And you were asking at the end, why should there be a backlash? And I do like the phrase. I'll tell you why. Because when you have a social justice warrior culture where everybody goes around pretending to be the victim, you know, I'm so afflicted, man, you know. And by the way, if you don't feel afflicted, if anyone watching is not afflicted, please get in touch. I'll be glad to explain why your demographic is very afflicted, right? But when we do that, then real heavy stuff gets pushed to the side. Case in point, the migrant situation in Europe. Do you know that there really, really are thousands of families who are fleeing war zones? Have you seen the pictures of Syria? I mean, it's hell on earth. And they are fleeing, they haven't got a choice. And they're desperate and they need help. Their lives are at stake. They need help. But guess what? They can't get help because the majority of all of those migrants who are hanging out in places like Calais and Paris, they've been interviewed, they've checked this, they've checked the data. The majority are from places like Pakistan and Eritrea and places that are not war zones. In other words, they are coming across for economic reasons, not for fear of losing their lives. And so what's happening is people with a real need, people who have a genuine, authentic, really heavy problem are missing out. This is the problem. This is the big problem with social justice warriors, okay? So that's why this is the first time I've ever spoken about the whole Scotland thing. I don't like talking about that, and I don't want to be a victim. I'm not the victim. I would rather instead focus on things that I can control and focus on the massive, overwhelming opportunities that we all have. Oh, hallelujah. You know, when all of the leads stopped coming in and when Scotland effectively was sanctioned, right, by England and the work all dried up, I never spent one single minute going, oh man, of what's happening, business is ruined. I never spent 1 minute doing that. Instead, I thought, maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe I could get into like app building or doing online tutorials or something else. I'm excited. Do you know what I'm saying? Why don't you join me? Why don't you do that as well? Try it. Just try it for a few months, you know, and instead of focusing on you're a victim and life's not the way you want because of him and her and him and everything is all unfair, why not focus on the good stuff? Did we not just have a black president for 8 years? Do we not have a pop culture that's dominated by African Americans, people like Beyonce and the Sugar Puff Daddy and all of those other rappers and all of that? See, there are opportunities and there are people becoming very successful, some of them starting from incredibly deprived positions in life. Please ditch the victim mentality, okay? It doesn't help anyone. You're a champion. I believe in you, and you can have or do anything you want.